it even more, there's more additional headlines that ultimately will come the Cowboys' way. But it's deeper than that to me when I listen to Jerry Jones. I see someone clamoring for Tony Romo. Now that Tony Romo clearly sees the future and sees the future of the Dallas Cowboys, recognizing that he's not going to be a part of it in all likelihood, not if he wants to be a starting quarterback, because Dak Prescott is the future. This is the end for Tony Romo in Dallas. Multiple back surgeries, collarbone issues, and beyond at age 36. This is it. Jerry Jones recognizes that the Dallas Cowboys have an opportunity to be Super Bowl champions, and he wants Tony Romo to be the guy who takes them there. So it's not like Dak's not the future. It's not like Jerry Jones doesn't believe in him. It's not like he's not going to look forward to Dak Prescott, guiding the Dallas Cowboys to prosperity in the years and years to come. But at this particular moment in time, he is clearly willing to undermine Dak Prescott in order to facilitate the resurgence of Tony Romo. And I suspect that Jerry Jones is not even the only one within the organization who feels this way, thinks this way, and is hoping this will happen. I think there are others, possibly guys wearing the uniform, that want the same thing. The Dallas Cowboys, as far as I'm concerned, no matter how together they seem, they're a divided bunch when it comes to the Romo-Dak Prescott issue. And I think that Jerry Jones is illuminating that every time he opens his mouth.
Hey, Stephen A., let's just read between the lines here. When you say you think that's the case, is that because maybe a little birdie told you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I thought. Look, you got to read between the lines of Stephen A. When he says, I think, and then he tells you that half the team wants something, that's because he talks to a lot of people. Look,
I didn't say half the team, though. I didn't say, but some
people on the team.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know that this is that specific to Tony Romo in terms of Jerry Jones popping off about it. Jerry Jones likes to be called coach. He enjoys that. He likes everyone to know how much he knows about football. He loves the culture of it, and he loves being thought of that way. And it's like getting mad at Jerry Jones for saying something he shouldn't. And let me be clear, he should shut up about Tony Romo at this point. I mean, enough. You're or better yet, keep talking, because you're undermining your team's chances. And I'm a Giants fan, so keep talking. If I were a Cowboys fan, I would just say, please, Jerry Jones, please shut up. Please stop talking. But he can't help himself, and asking him to do that because he likes the attention. Asking him to do that is like asking a lion not to eat, or a crocodile not to eat a wildebeest. That's what the crocodile does. It's not like a moral issue. He doesn't really have a choice. He's hungry. He's going to eat that wildebeest. Or actually, in Jerry Jones' case, it's more like telling the wildebeest, hey, don't go to the edge of that river because there are crocodiles in it. Wildebeest can't help it. It's thirsty. It's got to go, even though it knows it might get eaten by a crocodile. And that's what Jerry Jones is, a thirsty wildebeest.
Well, you could say he's thirsty, but the reality is that it goes far deeper than that. And the reason why it goes far deeper than that is because you have a rookie. Now, granted, Dak Prescott has shown tremendous poise. He seems to be an old soul, mature beyond his years. And even though I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys because they have the worst fan base in American history, they're delusional and they're annoying and obnoxious and I can't stand them, it doesn't take away from the fact that Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott have been incredibly impressive. I'm proud of these young brothers, and I wish them nothing but the best, so long as they don't win the Super Bowl, because I can't stand their fan base, and I don't want to hear their mouth for the next year. But the flip side to all of that is, if you're Dak Prescott, you're still a rookie. No matter what your performance belies, it's who you are. And to be so incredibly insensitive to this man, with what he's doing, and riding those coattails and being enthusiastic and supportive of him. And instead, what you do is you give lip service or you articulate the obvious, while at the same time making sure that everybody knows what your true wish is. And that true wish is not Dak Prescott. It's incredibly insensitive. I would dare say it's unprofessional, but I would also say it's emblematic of who the Dallas Cowboys are and have been since Jerry Jones arrived. Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones together won 3 championships in 4 years. We recognize that. Jerry Jones was on a mission to prove that he was worthy, that he deserved more credit than Jimmy Johnson, who clearly was disrespectful towards him, refused to give him. All right? And ever since then, getting Barry Switzer, ultimately getting that 3rd Super Bowl title, but some would argue that was with decisions that Jerry and Jimmy made. Jerry has been on a mission to prove that he deserves credit for all of this. It is now 21 plus years and counting. He has failed to do it, and he will fail again because of stuff like this.
I don't know if he'll fail again this year. Maybe. I hope
he
so.
will.
I really hope
he will not
win
the Super Bowl this year.
Right about
he will not win the Super Bowl this year.
I hope you're right. I don't think they will either, but they have as good a chance as any. They're the odds-on favorite in the opinion of some. Entertain this thought for a second. I agree with that analysis you just said. Entertain this thought for a second. What if the fact is that there are coaches and players on the Dallas Cowboys who, when they watch game film, when they watch the coaches' film, they see things that Dak isn't seeing. They believe that Romo would see them, and whether or not they're correct about it, they genuinely believe that even though it would be unpopular because the team is 11-2 with Dak Prescott, it would actually increase their chances of winning a Super Bowl if they put Romo in. If you can entertain that thought, Stephen A. Smith, and you think that's possible, then that sheds a different kind of light on what Jerry Jones is doing. As wrong-headed as it might be, if that's the case, then he's doing it because he actually believes it.
Well, here's why I would disagree with you, because I sometimes joke and call you Spock Kellerman because you're logic. You're logical, and because you're logical, you look at it from that perspective. It's not that you're wrong, it's that you're incomplete. Because when we talk about sports, we don't just talk about numbers. We also talk about results. And when we talk about results, we talk about what assists towards those results. Sometimes it is numbers, but a lot more often than not, it's not just numbers, it's cohesion, it's chemistry, it's togetherness, it's a flair, it's a vibe, it's a swag, it's all of those things that come with it. Intangibles that contribute to elevating one's ability and the collective forces around them, galvanizing the troops, bringing them together and spearheading them to prosperity. These are the kind of things that happen in sports all the time. The owners tell us this, the executives tell us this, and certainly the coaches, the coaching staff, and the players tell us this. So to throw all of that out the window because you love Tony Romo so much, and he looks a bit better than Dak Prescott, the rookie, may look. I understand Max Kellerman saying that, but there is no excuse on earth for the Dallas Cowboys to be articulating that position of Dak performing the way he's performing.
Hold on, because I actually believe that Dak should be the quarterback because of everything you just said, because of all that kind of conventional sports and football wisdom, particularly in football. But there are those who would say, who work in the industry, which is why I'm sure the team is divided about this, that you can't get too caught up in the results. You can't get too caught up in the correlation between one guy starting under center and wins. If you believe that in spite of that correlation, in terms of the causal relationship of the quarterback to the success, it would be better to have another guy back there. Then it actually takes courage to suggest that. Now, my own analysis of the situation is don't mess with this if you're Dallas. But that might not be everybody's.
All right, guys, we got to leave it there. We go from one of Stephen A.'s favorites and Jerry to another one of his favorites. And
that contribute to elevating one's ability and the collective forces around them, galvanizing the troops, bringing them together and spearheading them to prosperity. These are the kind of things that happen in sports all the time. The owners tell us this. The executives tell us this. And certainly the coaches, the coaching staff, and the players tell us this. So to throw all of that out the window because you love Tony Romo so much, and he looks a bit better than Dak Prescott, the rookie, may look. I understand Max Kellerman saying that, but there is no excuse on earth for the Dallas Cowboys to be articulating that position of Dak performing the way he's performing.
Hold on, because I actually believe that Dak should be the quarterback because of everything you just said, because of all that kind of conventional sports and football wisdom, particularly in football. But there are those who would say, who work in the industry, which is why I'm sure the team is divided about this, that you can't get too caught up in the results. You can't get too caught up in the correlation between one guy starting under center and wins, if you believe that in spite of that correlation, in terms of the causal relationship of the quarterback to the success, it would be better to have another guy back there. Then it actually takes courage to suggest that. Now, my own analysis of the situation is don't mess with this if you're Dallas. But that might not be everybody's.
All right, guys, we got to leave it there. We go from one of Stephen A's favorites and Jerry to another one of his favorites and Aaron Rodgers. It was a bromance like no other, folks. Coming up, Stephen A had that bad man on his radio show yesterday and asked him about his critics, including Greg Jennings. We'll tell you what he had to say after the break. Plus, Richard Sherman had some more choice words for the NFL and what he thinks of Thursday Night Football. Here's a sneak peek. We'll react after the break.
Poop fest. It's terrible. This is, you played, got home like 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that on Monday, and then you got to play again. I mean, congratulations, NFL. You did it again.